All aboard, suckers! Did you ever think you'd get me 2 days in a row? Some of you good-looking women out there, you could have me every day if you wanted me. Just have to ask. Duh. No, I don't mean you 85-year-olds either. Well, you 85-year-olds can ask. You can certainly ask, but it's not going to happen, is it, huh? Not from this end. Anyway, I hope that you're doing well. I just wanted to go over just a few things. I think about things all day long because I'm a thinker. Some of us were put on this earth, we're put on this earth to go through trials and to see if we can keep God's commandments and see how we are as far as our relationships with other people and our kindness to other people and animals and different things. But part of that is thinking. To think, instead of having dead airspace between here, that you can use your brain for something that's called thinking, maybe critical thinking. Now, I just wanted to go over just a few things that I've been thinking about. I don't want to bore you, so if you're easily bored and you have a problem with your attention span, then turn it off and go over and watch people that are talking horseshit and in a fantasy land all of their own, But if you want to think about what I think, then stay tuned, and we'll all have a great time together, won't we, huh? Okay, let's get right into it, Let's see. Fudging stats. Death stats. Fudging stats, okay? So I believe that the death totals are not accurate. Well, we know that China's not reporting accurately. They're completely full of it. The government of China, Chinese government, are really full of shit. They're dishonest. I don't know. Thank God that most of us don't live in China, for crying out loud, that we have freedom to some degree. Of course, we're losing some of our freedoms slowly, little by little. I mean, taking the prayers out of schools and taking the Ten Commandments out, off the out of the court system, or just things, just think they're slowly chipping away at God and our rights. And that. You've seen that. They're slowly doing it. They're slowly chipping away at God and our freedom. But anyway, there's a link I'm going to put in. There's a girl by the name of Lisa Haven. As a personality, I really can't stand her. Lisa Haven here. Lisa Haven here. I think she's obnoxious. She just drives me nuts. But she made some good points a couple of days ago about fudging stats as far as the death amounts on the coronavirus. And she had charts and things, and it was very good. I'm going to leave a link to it so you can look at it. But, basically that if someone dies in a hospital, according to what she says and other people I've watched, that if they're not really sure if what the person died at, from, whether it was old age or, flu or a cold, whatever, if they're not really sure, just put coronavirus, COVID-19 on the death certificate and be done with it. So apparently that's what they're doing. Somebody comes out in for pneumonia or whatever, COVID-19, cause of death, COVID-19, COVID-19. And so you're boosting the total of death blamed for COVID-19. And that's not fair, because you look at the charts and the deaths that usually occur from pneumonia, flu, stroke, heart attack, colds, old age, whatever, the percentages, or not the percentages, but the amount that's normally in those different groups, the totals are way down for, first few months of, of any given year. And you think, well, how come instead of showing 5,000 for this month of people that died, with the flu, how come it's only showing 3,500 this month, instead of 5,000 it normally shows during January or whatever, And the reason is, and it makes sense, is that they're saying COVID-19. It's pretty obvious, isn't it? It makes a lot of sense, So I really think that the government is fudging the records, and we're not being told the truth on the total amount of people that are dying of COVID-19. And that upsets me. That pisses me off, because our government should be honest with us. They shouldn't, for whatever reason, want to raise the tally up on the COVID-19 thing. It just doesn't make sense to me. So anyway, I don't like that. Some people are pissed off that they have to wear masks at the grocery store. That doesn't upset me, because I really believe that there are particulates, or whatever you call it, or germs, when somebody coughs or sneezes, and when you wear a mask, you're stopping your germs and things going out into the open air. And at the same time, if somebody's in line and coughs or sneezes or whatever, then you're protected to some degree on that. So I think it's a good idea, personally, to wear a mask. I don't want to wear a mask, but I think it's a good idea to protect the population that is shopping in stores. I mean, I can't really fault that. I think it's good. I think social distancing is good. It bugs me to no end the people that think that they're above the law, or they're invincible, or they're special people, and they're not going to catch the virus, and it's okay for 25 people to be on the beach playing volleyball, or having a barbecue, or just they don't care, and they're ruining it for other people. If everybody would do what, use the guidelines that our government's telling us to use, and also the governments around the world, the distancing, the washing hands, wearing masks, things like that, then we would flatten the curve and hopefully start going down. But if there's always going to be an asshole or assholes that are going to not go along with what they're supposed to do because they're special. You've known people like that. You probably still know people like that. They're special. They don't have to do what's right because they're special. They're not special. They're complete assholes. And they're ruining it for other people. They're taking a chance of ruining it for other people because they think they're so damn special. That's sickening. To me, that's sickening. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about is people are reporting empty hospitals. They're going around with their cell phones, photographing the hospital emergency areas, the parking lot areas, and it's just empty. There isn't a big rush of Corona-19 patients out in the emergencies ready to get in, and it's not an overwhelmed hospital or overwhelmed system. You know, that the news is reporting, you know, and faking. That's possibly true. I don't know. But I think a few things that you need to take in the consideration of why the hospitals from the outside appear empty is because there's no, other than, you know, Corona-19 patients, you know, basically, there's no selective surgery patients in there. So that's part of the parking lot. There's no visitors in there. That's a huge part of the parking lot, the cars in the parking lot. There's no visitors allowed, so there's hundreds of cars gone. I don't think people think you know, things out. You know, I don't think they think they make a blanket statement. Well, the parking lots are empty. You know, there's not a rush. It's not a big deal. Well, people that have the problem are inside the hospitals in different areas. Some people go in with the cameras and take pictures of the waiting rooms, and you know, there might be 2 people in the waiting room instead of hundreds, and you know, they show on TV. Well, there's probably several waiting rooms in the hospital. Of course, they might go in the emergency waiting room, but I think that the news coverage does fudge on what's really happening. I think they do exaggerate on a lot of stuff. I know they do. And if there's an earthquake in a city, the news goes out and they find buildings that have cracks or broken windows or whatever, and then they say, "Oh, Phoenix, Arizona, or whatever, had an earthquake, and there's a lot of problems," and then they have footage of some buildings that have broken windows or maybe a crack going down, you know, side of the building, or some of the top of the roof on the building is fallen over, or whatever it is. But the majority, 99.9% of the city is fine. It's not damaged. It wasn't a devastating earthquake, but it's sensational. You know, I guess bad news sells. I guess. I don't guess. I know it does. So anyway, I just wish that people could be honest in their reporting, and I don't think the news is. But I think some of these people, conspiracy theorists, are really full of shit. I really believe they are. I think they go way overboard in what is really going on, or the truth. Like the 9/11, the Twin Towers, for instance. You know, there's conspiracy theorists that say the planes that went into the towers were not real planes. It was holograms. These were holograms because it's impossible, for a plane to go into a building and then come out the other side of the building because the jet is made of aluminum and the impact and different things wouldn't allow the plane to go out the other side of the building. They have all these things, and so it was a projector that was projecting this hologram to make people think that the planes went into the buildings. I do believe that it's suspicious because the firemen and different people that were at the towers heard different bangs or explosions at different corners of different floors. Before they started collapsing, they heard the explosions, and then to have the towers fall, pancake fall like it did, the people that build buildings and so forth, they said it was really virtually impossible for it to fall like that unless it was controlled demolition. And I believe that. I really believe that to me it is suspicious. But for people to go to a point where they say that there weren't any planes, it was just made to look like there's planes with holograms, I think those people are just crazy. I really do. I think they're crazy. I think definitely that is suspicious. Like Building 7 wasn't even hit, and that fell down. That was the third building that fell down. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and I do, to some degree, believe in a lot of conspiracy theories. But to go to a point where the planes were holograms and weren't really planes, I think crazy people. Another thing that bothers me is the flat Earth people. When you look at a picture of the Earth or the moon or the sun or stars or whatever, don't they look round? Don't they look round to you? Oh, it's just flat. There's no curvature to it. It's I don't know why it looks like a curve, but it's really not curved. It's just flat. Because when you go far enough, you just fall off. Boom. You just fall off into space. It's not curved. You look at the horizon, it's just, go to the beach and it's just flat. There's no curvature to it. You can fly a drone up and take pictures of the horizon. It's still flat. There's no curve to it. I don't know where these people come from, but at least my way of thinking, it's not flat. There's no way it's flat. Does it look flat to you? Seriously, does it look flat? Pictures that you see from up in the air, does it look flat to you, or does it look like it's curved a little bit? Huh? Does it look like a perfect round ball to you? Or does it look like it's flat? The reason it looks like a ball is because we're only looking at the flat surface of it. Now, if we looked at it from another point, then it would look like a pancake. It would look like a part of a pancake, like the moon, for instance. When you see the moon, you see it full sometimes because, and then when you see like a quarter of the moon, or just a crescent moon, that's because it's flat. That's because it's flat and you're seeing the proper proportions of it. I think people are just morons for the most part. What else there is there? Oh yeah, buildings, buildings. That have a curved top to it. Some of them are beautiful. They have a curved top. They like a might have a clock in it or whatever. Some might be a courthouse or whatever. Uh, Architecturally, I think it's beautiful, but it isn't what you see, boys and girls. When you see a tower like that with a curved roof on it, that's not a beautiful architecture achievement. It's not beautifully made. It's what that is. What like a tower is with a clock on it and then a curved top. That's a dick. That's not just a regular building with a curved top on it for a roof. That's a dick. People purposely put that there to look like a dick. And there's people that believe that. There's really people that swear to that. What is wrong with these people? These people must not be happy. I don't know. I don't get it. The news reporters at the White House that try to trap President Trump, and they actually insult President Trump. They overtalk President when President is trying to answer the question, and they overtalk him. They're assholes. I would ban. As soon as a reporter did that a couple of times, I would do 3 times, 3 times being rude and being an asshole, you're out of there. You're not invited back. Whether it's, CNN, ABC, NBC, whatever, you're out of there. Whoever is rude, the reporter that can't be a good little boy or a good little girl and be there and sit there and be polite when they're talking to the President of the United States, regardless of how they feel about the President of the United States, he still is the President, and you're supposed to be respectful in the White House and not be such a dick. I think really they should be banned, seriously. Wouldn't have any problem with that at all. I could go on and on, I mean, I don't know, cats, people that don't think cats and dogs will go to heaven. Why would cats and dogs go to heaven? Do you think cows are going to be there? Do you think horses are going to be there? What about little Sally, that lived on a farm, and she had a friend that was a duck, or she had a friend that was I don't know, a rabbit. Are they going to be in heaven too? Yes, they are. They're all going to be in heaven, you dickheads. These are God's creations. Maybe mosquitoes won't be in heaven. I don't know. If a mosquito is going to be in heaven, it's not going to be sucking your blood out. But why wouldn't a cat or a dog, someone's precious pet, be in heaven? Do you think if God loves us and he knows how much we miss our dog or a cat that we had as a pet, do you think that God would not allow us or want his children to be happy and allow us to be with our precious cat or our dog that died? That God wouldn't allow us to be with that cat or dog in heaven, in our mansion or where our hut or wherever we live in heaven? Are you people crazy? These cats and dogs are special. They have spirits. They have personalities. They're intelligent beings. Some of them are more intelligent than you people are. There's a channel that I go to look at sometimes. It's called, I think it's called Dodo, Dodo, and they have the most beautiful. Uh, they really do. They have some of the most beautiful footage of animals and love uh, that I've ever seen. So they're so touching, like an animal that was saved by a human being or rescued, or the like the whale was caught up in all the fish nets and stuff and couldn't swim, couldn't free itself, and people went out there with their knives and freed the whale, things like that. But these animals show their love and that they're thankful to the people that rescued them. I mean, it's unbelievable to me, the intelligence of these animals and the feelings that these animals have. You deer hunters out there, ready, aim, fire. They're just a deer. Hell, I can eat that deer and, put food on the table. I hate deer meat. I think deer meat sucks. I mean, you look at it. You look at a deer and the little baby deers that follow, or a geese with their little baby geese that are walking in back of of the father and the mother. Isn't that cute? It's family unity. It's caring, the adults caring for their young. Isn't that love? Isn't that intelligence? And you want to blast the shit out of them for sport. These are intelligent creatures created by God. I'm having second thoughts about eating meat, to be honest with you. I really am. I love animals, whether it's a chicken or a grasshopper or whatever. I love them. I have to admit, I'll have to tell you some stories sometimes on some things that I did that were unbelievable. The response I got from some even insects that I saved that were drowning, and I blew them to try to get the water from them, or I blew them back to life, baby. And the response I got was I mean, it's just things like that it happens all the time. Anyway, I've spent about a half hour talking talking so far, so I gotta go. There's a lot of, believe it or not, I do have a life, and I have other things to do. And I'm sorry that if you don't agree with the things I say, then we'll just have to agree to disagree. But anyway, I want you to know that I'm thankful for the people that watch me. I thankful for the nice comments that people make, and I hope that we can all get through this coronavirus thing. And I think we will. And you have to have hope. You have to have faith. Now's the time to repent, and now is the time to get right with God. Everybody's going to die sometime. The only problem with dying is that if you die before you're right with God. So you have to be right with God. Someday you're going to meet your Creator, and you're going to have to give an account, and you're going to be judged for every deed, whether it's a good or bad deed that you did upon the face of the earth. If you were nice to people, if you were honest with people, caring for people, caring for animals, caring for the earth, whatever it is. This isn't a game, boys and girls. It isn't a game to be born and go out and sleep with all the people you can sleep with and get high on the weekends. That's not what life's about. Anyway, talk to you later.